beautiful people, welcome back to my channel. Hope you guys are doing well and having a wonderful week so far. But when is Without a Crystal Ball going to be held accountable? How many more innocent people is she going to hurt, put through anguish and unnecessary pain? It's because of her reckless, insensitive and irresponsible reporting, irrelevant of their beliefs or whose family that they married into. This is Lydia and Trace Bates. Lydia is married to Trace Bates, who was the son of Gil and Kelly Jo Bates. They used to appear on the Douglas show and then they got their own show. But anyways, they welcomed their first child last year. And Lydia, who has 60,000 followers on Instagram, after giving birth, she updated her followers how being a first-time mum has been for her. She explained how difficult it was, basically sleep deprived because baby always needs to be fed, and they took him to the pediatrician and he advised her that he needs to be fed every 2.5 hours because he was apparently underweight. So Without a Crystal Ball basically took her experience and ran with it, accusing this new mother of the most unbelievable shit, and posted. Trace and Lydia Bates have been underfeeding their newborn so badly that he lost a ton of weight. She took him to his pediatrician and they told Lydia to feed Riker every 2.5 hours. He was born on September 12, 2023. Lydia complained that waking up at night and having to feed a baby every 2.5 hours is really hard, so they need family to help. That is so exaggerated, because Lydia explained how she had family help her with the baby because she was exhausted, as one would be after giving birth, and thank God she had family to help her. That is what family is there for. But also, that is where, in my opinion, Without a Crystal Ball's jealousy comes into play, because she herself has no family, and that is all her choice. So Without a Crystal Ball had to portray this in a very negative way. He gained 1 pound in a week, so now Lydia is going again to stop feeding him overnight. That is not true. She didn't say that at all. Newborns and infants up to 4 months, especially those that are breastfed, need to eat every 2 to 3 hours. In their fundy circles, many families follow a book called Baby Wise, pushes feeding and sleep schedules that are not practical or safe for infants. This has led to severe failure to thrive in babies. Infants do not have a big enough stomach to hold enough food to sleep overnight at 2 weeks old. Okay, Katie, because she is a fundy, so you assuming that she's following these rules in the book. Why don't you just drag her because you feel you can and no one will do a damn thing and you can feel good about yourself? Lydia is facing deportation and is openly discussing neglecting her child. Let's be clear once again, because Without a Crystal Ball clearly chose not to relate to Lydia's experience of being a new mum. Rather, she took it as Lydia neglecting her child, whereas let's talk about neglecting a child, like when Without a Crystal Ball, aka Katie Joy, allowed her son to be left isolated in a room with the husband for 10 hours. Yet she still found the time to actually go and sit on an Instagram live while this poor child is stuck in a room for 10 hours. Also, when she posted a pic on several occasions of her tube feeding her son. Now, was the feeding tube necessary, or was it a convenience for you, Katie Joy, and your obsession with pushing out videos to generate money off the backs of these, as you said, fundies? Some people should not be parents. Feeding your child is literally the bare minimum. That is really rich coming from you, Katie Joy. For those claiming this is mum shaming, please exit left. This is 100% neglectful and the baby will end up underweight. This is exactly that, Katie Joy. This is mum shaming. And yeah, we are a few months later, and I will demonstrate to you the stress it caused this new mum and dad for Katie Joy's false reporting, for Katie Joy's negligent reporting, for Katie Joy's reckless and insensitive reporting. After obviously Lydia and Trace was being harassed, Trace posted this. New parents, especially new mums, are now officially our heroes. It's really sad to see online bloggers who spend their days spewing hate, gossip and slanderous lies go after new mums who are giving their all for their babies. Unfortunately, fake news is a part of the world we live in now. These kind never let the truth get in the way of their hateful agenda and mean-spirited spewings. Yet, at the same time, We have been so encouraged by the love and support so many of you have shown. Message after message, post after post has shown us that the world is full of so many good and kind people who pause their day to show love and care at the most perfect moment. Thank you, friends. Keep it up. Go and show someone love and kindness. We all need it. Trace and Lydia Bates. Then Without a Crystal Ball made a post that was a little too late because the damage had already been done. As you can see from the screenshots, to which Without a Crystal Ball's followers took it upon themselves to report Lydia and Trace Bates after watching Without a Crystal Ball's video, so they came back and they let her know exactly what they had done. She posed, "Do not contact CPS or police related to any stories that I cover." So why didn't you say that when you made your video, Katie Joy, which now that video has been deleted? Only report abuse of people that you know, have witnessed and can be a witness to for police. I have never and will never condone anyone contacting CPS over internet reporting, ever. I will never direct anyone to do it. I will never file reports on anyone that I do not know or for abuse that I have not witnessed. Didn't you just accuse these parents of neglect? If you wish to harass me, my address is already marked in the county as an address that is victim of swatting and false reporting. Reporting me to CPS or police will not get you the desired reports you wish and will only waste the resources of my county. Police and CPS do not come here when false reports are made from online viewers. My county already had to involve the FBI with the swatting, so they don't play anymore when it comes to my family. You special. The reason I said her post was a little too late was because her followers had already been calling authorities on these young parents. It got so out of hand, the media also got involved, which you will hear them explain. Before I show you the video, a reporter from the Daily Mail reached out to Without a Crystal Ball, and as you can see, she says, "Hi Katie, hope all is well. I'm reaching out in regard to the post you shared about Trace Bates and Lydia Romaika underfeeding their child. We noticed the video has been taken down. Would you be able to provide any comment on this or the post? Thanks." As you can see, Without a Crystal Ball says, "Dear Daily Mail, your reporter got blocked for trying to make a cult leader's son a victim." And as you can see, the top of the post says, "The Daily Mail shills for cults and alt-right extremists. Pass it on." She does this all the time. When she has no out or comeback or cannot stand by her reporting, she shifts the goalpost. Just recently, she did this with the Brown family when she was getting called out for exploiting the loss of Janelle and Cody's son. She accused her naysayers of supporting an abuser, a human trafficker, a deadbeat dad. And these are all the things that she was calling Cody. And all people were asking her was to give them space and time to grieve. And you must know, no one gets in the way of Katie Joy getting that coin of hers. Recently, Lydia and Trace made a video about how Without a Crystal Ball's reckless, irresponsible, and insensitive postings affected them. And once again, a huge thank you to Balls 2.0 on Instagram for bringing our attention to this. Her Instagram handle is down in my description box. It's there permanently, so feel free, go give her a follow. She never misses a beat. We all appreciate her so much. I will be eternally grateful.
The real thing that really took a turn for the worse, that made everything really a lot more difficult, was right after that week where you shared that, and someone that we don't know, but you know, we put our lives out there so people can say, you know, we're influencers.
People get are invested, and then they like to let us know how
so they can
feel,
you know, say what they want. But they took what Lydia said, and Lydia did not word it in the best way.
I was very sleep deprived, and looking back, I realized I shouldn't have said it the way I did. But in my head, I was just updating like all the people that have been asking how I'm doing, and I didn't really think much about it.
You worded it bad, but what was we were told, and we were still doing everything right. Feeding them. You were able to get sleep because we had help here. There was tons of milk in the fridge, and he was still eating every 2.5, 3 hours, no matter what. And someone made a post, I guess, out there on Instagram or whatever, and saying that we were neglecting our child, not feeding our child, and that you were not a good mother. We were having people emailing or DMing us in the comments saying that
the person basically told all of their followers to go call child services on me for supposedly not feeding.
Yeah, and
reaching out
and then after, the things that she did say, the person did delete those first posts about that, so she'll now claim that she didn't tell people to do that. But we had a bunch of people saying they're calling DHS on us because we're not feeding our child, and of course it wasn't true because we were doing exactly what the pediatrician told us to do. They said everything was right. He was very healthy, and
we literally had people here whose whole purpose was
just to feed him.
To make sure every time he makes a sound that he gets changed, fed, and held.
So then all of a sudden, like on my Instagram, on Lydia's Instagram, and she also is a photographer, so her phone number's out there. She was getting threats saying you shouldn't have been a mother. Go back to your country. You shouldn't have a child.
Because of all the deportation stuff in between.
Just cussing out and just saying terrible things.
It was so bad.
And this is a first-time mother that is doing everything she can. She has wonderful help, wonderful support. She has my mother that's had 19 children. Her mother's had 7 children. Mm-hmm. So we had a pediatrician that's telling us to do everything, and we were doing exactly what we were told. And I feel like that was the most stressful, and that sent you back into, you got sick, you got mastitis again, you're running a fever, and this is all
That's so sad
because of stress. And then next thing we know, we're getting phone calls from like Good Morning America, different newslet people saying that, do we have any comments on us neglecting our child and not feeding our child? And of course it was all untrue. And they even came out with the article, and in the article they asked, a pediatrician, are they doing anything wrong? And they said no, they're doing exactly what their doctor said. After we let the news article that, hey, this is not actually true.
We decided to respond on it. Usually we try to ignore the haters and not really respond, but that was like hitting the news. So we're like, we should make sure they know that.
Well, for 2 days,
that's ridiculous.
Lydia really couldn't get on her phone because I'm talking about.
I literally deleted every app off my phone because every time I went on there, it was just people telling me I'm a terrible mom. I shouldn't have kids. I'm abusing my kid. That I don't deserve to be a mother.
Go back to your country.
Which I feel like is the worst thing that you could say to someone.
Yeah, there's just the first
because
time.
Because I knew it wasn't true, but like, how am I going to respond to like hundreds of thousands of people literally emailing me that I don't deserve to be a mother and I should go back to a country I belong, which that was its own little thing. But I was getting so much hate and people hating on me literally, A, being in this country, and 2, having a baby, which they claimed I didn't take care of. And I was like, my baby is so happy. I'm like holding him. Yeah. I'm like, that's so crazy, but like it was just so depressing, and I had just gotten into a good place, and then I ended up getting fever. I got mastitis again, and then it took a while for me to recover. And I was like, honestly, I have to fully get off social media and delete everything. And I didn't want, I was not answering phone calls because there's news people asking why I'm not feeding my child.
Which is sad.
And I was like, Trace, I can't.
It was very untrue. There's
so many people that are actually like out there being bad parents and doing like crazy things. I was like, why make up stories about me when I'm just literally doing nothing wrong?
Then the same person tried to compare you to someone that has abused children and was saying that you were similar to that.
There was a huge story around that time about someone who actually sent jail and actually really was an awful parent and abusing their kids. But I was like, why would you compare me to that?
I literally,
because, and then I got so much hate for having help. They were like, how dare you have help? You should be doing it by yourself. Don't make other people do it. And our pediatrician and all our doctors were like, the best thing you can do is have support. Like, even if it's a couple hours a day, have your mom drop in, because it just emotionally helps so much. Obviously, after a couple weeks, we had a good routine, and we were, like, at that point, knew how to do everything on our own and how to handle the lack of sleep so much better. But I feel like the biggest thing you can have is support and have your family, and it's a huge blessing, and it's not a bad thing to have your mom or whoever come over.
This is what Katie Joy, without a crystal ball's reporting, wording, actions, does to people. This is absolutely unacceptable. Katie Joy condoned her followers calling CPS. She called this young couple's child an anchor baby. How is any of this okay? This is an innocent baby. This speaks volumes about who Katie Joy is, her intentions, what she's truly about. Once again, this is unacceptable. She compared this young mother to Ruby Franke. Are you fucking kidding me? Bottom line, Without a Crystal Ball has been on this journey of doing whatever she wants to do, saying whatever she wants to say, whether it be negative, whether it be slanderous, whether it be defamatory. She's going to keep doing what she does. And she's aware that there's no repercussions because she feels she's invincible. And these people that she reports on, like the IBLP, the FLDS, the AUB, they're not going to do anything to her because it's not in their nature to fight back. And this is the reason she will continue to do what she does. At the end of the day, Lydia did what she felt she needed to do to keep her followers updated. She was being honest. She was nothing but truthful. She is just human like you and me, a woman that just gave birth, giving her audience an update on where she's at. She gave her experience and what she was going through. And she got ridiculed because of Without a Crystal Ball and her hatred for people like Trace and Lydia, who belong to the IBLP. She took her experience and used it against her, used it to get people to bring harm to them, period. And it worked. This is not the first time Without a Crystal Ball has done stuff like this to harm people. She continually does this type of shit and she is never held accountable. For one, people just don't want to mess with her because they know how polarizing and problematic she is. She is well aware that no one likes her and that she has no acquaintances or allies on YouTube, and she's okay with that. To end this, once again, for all Without a Crystal Ball's flying monkeys, what Lydia went through after giving birth has nothing to do with what her husband was part of in regard to January 6th. This was Lydia giving her experience after giving birth. What any other woman that has given birth probably would have gone through. And Without a Crystal Ball shamed her for that and accused her of neglecting her child. Without a Crystal Ball has no place to talk. She was the one that put in an article that she was so scared to have a child because of her intrusive thoughts and that she might hurt a child. And then mentioned in one of her videos the only reason she had a child was because her husband wanted a child. Basically, she had a child to keep her man. So probably that is why he is stuck in a room with his son for 10 hours. Poor little boy. Now, as of I think it was Monday or Tuesday, she is complimenting Joy Anna Duggar for seeking help for her postpartum. That video will be out shortly. Please go and watch Lydia and Trace Bates' video in its entirety so you can get the full scope of how Without a Crystal Ball's video and postings had a negative effect on their life. They did not deserve that, fundy or no fundy. Thank you guys so much for taking the time and watching this video. Have a wonderful rest of your day and week. Please be safe out there. Be kind to one another and don't forget, make good memories. Bye guys.